Good day, everyone, and welcome to the New England Disc Golf Productions production of the New England Disc Golf Finals. We are here at New England Disc Golf Center in beautiful Southwick, Massachusetts. We are going to be bringing you the MPO lead round coverage. I am Adam Abruzzi. I'm here alongside Casey White today.
What's up, guys? We
are very lucky today. We have Rapscallion Brewery, Tap Room, Disc Golf Center. They're our main sponsor for today. ActonTV Studios alongside with New England Disc Golf Productions bringing this video on. We were very lucky. We had an unbelievably good weather day in New England here at the New England Disc Golf Center. This is a new course down in Southwick, Massachusetts. It is unbelievable. A heavy, thick, wooded, long, challenging course. This really honestly couldn't have been a better course for us to have these championships at because it really tests the strength of a New England disc golfer.
Yeah, I mean, I love the course. It was my first time playing here today, and man, it is beautiful property out there.
Look at that death putt right there on the B-roll.
Great putt, Ballas.
All right, guys. Casey White is going to be taking the lead on this card. A 1,000-rated player from Shirley, Massachusetts, and no doubt you have heard this name before. We also have Edwin Bedell from Newport, New Hampshire. He is coming on strong onto the scene right now. Look out for him.
And here's Shane Wyatt. He's one of my best friends and also one of the best players in Massachusetts. He has really been on a tear this year, lighting it up.
Absolutely.
And Chris Collette from Leominster, Massachusetts. He's also one of my good friends. He's got PDGA rating in 964. He's on lead card for the second round. See what he can do.
Fun fact, that's my ex-roommate. Everybody here is separated by one stroke after the lead round. Casey in the lead, 10 down. Edwin under him, 1. Shane 1 after that, and then Chris. And here we go, guys. Hole 1, a 515-foot par 4. It is a really interesting hole. A lot of these guys can reach very close to the up front part of this hole, but it's really dangerous, left and right.
So here I am trying to start off the second round with a good drive. First round, I let this leak a little left, so I'm trying to really get this up straight, hammer on this destroyer, and, you know, give myself a good look for bird.
There you go, Casey. It looks like you just didn't get it quite as high as you would have liked to, but it's actually a really great spot to land. Anywhere safe here is a really great spot to land, though.
Here's Edwin with a D1. He just overcooked that a little bit. He's just going to be in the middle. He'll still have a look at the basket. Here goes Shane. He's throwing his Star Destroyer here. He knows this disc very well. He's going to rip this up the hill, and you better believe he's trying to throw this further than me.
Yeah, he got the right height, too. He landed it right about where you did. Prodigy player Chris here. Ooh.
Got over on that a little bit. But good kick.
Yeah, that was a very fair spit back for him. You can see the wind moving quite good here. It's pretty much moving this way through a lot of the round, but we are in the woods pretty deep, so it doesn't hit us as hard.
This is one of the more open holes in the course. Do not be deceived. This is a treat to be out here with no trees in the way.
Yeah, it was almost nice if you started somewhere in the middle of the course the first round to come out here and feel like you could get out of the woods.
And Edwin is laying on an H1 here. This is an extremely overstable disc, and he throws this thing a lot out here. And that is a good look for birdie.
It's a really great up after his drive.
This is my ESP zone. I'm just trying to snap this hard and flat, get past that middle tree. But I turned it over a little bit, but I should be looking at it from there.
Fair kick, maybe circle's edge, maybe even a little inside.
Here's Shane. This is a signature Shane shot. That little standstill, one step, AVR 3. He loves that shot.
It's absolutely perfect.
Here's Chris. He's going to go for a little bit of a step putt. Banger.
Wow.
What a putt to start the round. This is awesome. Dead center low. That is really good hit, especially on these baskets.
That's exactly how we needed to hit that putt from that distance, too. Good start for you there, hitting that birdie as well.
I wanted that really bad. Shane and Edwin pretty close for bird. I knew I needed to put that in.
And after seeing Chris put his in, you pretty much knew it was on you at that point.
Edwin, confident putt to start the round.
Well, if hole 1's any indication, we have a star frame here, guys.
Good job, Shane.
That's it. After hole 1, the leaderboard stays the same, but everybody gets a stroke down on the round, which is great. Look at the big smiles from everyone on the leaderboard as we move into hole number 2. Hole number 2, it's a really fun 287-foot hole. To me, it plays a little bit more like 320. It felt like you really had to push a drive on this hole to get it to the basket. It really did play a little over 300 for my arm, it felt like.
Yeah, I am throwing a Jen Allen Color Glow T-Bird here. I'm just trying to make sure I hit my gap confidently and just get it skip up for a putt. And that worked out beautifully. The first round I threw a mid there, but it didn't quite have the distance, so I went up to a driver, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's what a lot of the guys I was playing with were saying, that the first round, it felt like it should be under 300, but it really doesn't. It plays a little harder than that.
Edwin also throwing a really nice drive there. He'll be close for a birdie putt. This is Shane throwing a Z Undertaker. This is a new disc to his bag this year. He has been loving these in Z and ESP, and that proves it right there.
Another 10-foot putt. This card's lighting up hole 2.
Chris is throwing this. He doesn't have quite as much hyzer as he would have liked, but he's going to come around left, and he'll be looking at the basket. He might have a obstructed look.
Caught a little bit of branch there and came out of the woods a little funny. It didn't look like he had much angle towards that basket at all, though.
Oh, no. That's a tough one.
These baskets, you 100% can't go there.
Woo, that was close.
After seeing Edwin, it must have felt like a 30, 40-foot putt right there for Shane.
So you see Shane laughing there. I just told Shane that if he missed that, he was going to switch to the pink lunas. And I'm laughing because he knows I'm right. Shane is one to switch up his putter before a round, before a tournament, in between a round. He does not care. He can putt with anything, and it's always going to be on point.
It's true. It really is true.
You know, he's putting with links now.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's actually a very popular putter all of a sudden, too.
Yes.
So Shane and Casey pick up the deuce there while Edwin and Chris settle for a nice par. We come into hole 3, a par 4, almost 500 feet. It is brutal.
So usually on a par 4 this course, you have that tight gap off the tee, and then you want to break open to the green or the area where the basket is. But this hole's the opposite. The first shot is relatively easy, but the second shot is that tight tunnel. If you do not have a look at that tunnel, you are going to have a tough time on this hole because this hole is wooded.
That looked like a decent landing spot
Yes.
there for you.
It hit the stump, actually. I hit that stump both rounds, and it put me just out of position. But that's all right. That's in position.
I love seeing guys backhand this hole. I never would have dreamed of backhanding it, obviously, myself, the way I play.
So
but
that's Shane with one of his new ESP Undertakers that he just loves so much. He can control it on any angle he wants.
Ooh, Edwin sawed that off a little bit on the inside.
Yeah, a little bit early.
That's going to be a tough spot. If he doesn't have a good angle out of there, it's going to be more of a layup.
Here's Chris. He's forehanding his X2 here. This is going a little outside, clipping a branch, but he is not out of position. Oh, maybe. Maybe he's got
a little bit out of position. Oh, well executed,
Wow.
Chris.
Great shot. Great shot, Chris. Edwin's got to work something through the woods here.
Oh, he went above. He tried to go up and over again. There's a big field almost ahead of where Edwin is. Looks like he was probably just trying to get up and into that.
This is my Firebird that I got from the Las Vegas Challenge player pack, and I love these discs. These things are a great run of Firebird, and
It's true, he loves them. I still have one hiding from him. So
here's Shane throwing a nice, clean, straight backhand. That's a good shot.
absolutely. Put him in a great position, especially through that deep tunnel.
Edwin's got that H1 again. Yep.
He's actually going to be really happy he hit that stump. He was coming in incredibly fast at that basket.
That's a good par save. Oof, Chris looking for another long putt.
He's had three long putts to start his round today. Hit one of them, though, so the confidence is still there.
Oh, that's a tough. Yeah, he does not like that tree. That's a tough lie right there as a righty.
All right, Casey snapping in his birdie as well.
Really happy to hit that one. That's a good start, going three birdies in a row after the first round, not putting it together on 1 through 3, but we're rolling.
Edwin settles for a par, but I don't know if that's much of a settle with where he started. It ends up being a really good score for him. For Shane, it's a little bit more of a settle, missing that tough putt with the tough lie. And I think Chris as well, who has that long putt in his arsenal, but I saw a lot of guys take 5s here. So
Yes, this is a hard hole.
Casey with the lone birdie on that card gives him a little bit more of a cushion. He's got 3 strokes now on Edwin and Shane, and he's got 5 strokes on Chris. We're going to be moving into hole 4, another hole on this course where it's deceiving. It's just under 200 feet from the box to the basket, but it plays to a teardrop, I call it. So you kind of have to play right or left of the basket, either on a big hyzer or basically a forehand hyzer.
Yeah. This is one of my most routine shots in the book, and I just...
He didn't make it.
Nope. I just yanked it a little left, and I couldn't believe that. I was just...
This is cool. You're going to see the first 2 guys on the box just take the exact opposite lanes.
So this is Shane throwing a zone here. Look, I was actually surprised by that. I thought that he would go for more... Like, that's not a common Shane shot. I thought he would go for a rock there. Edwin showing off the overstability of that disc right there.
You did exactly what you need to do on this hole. It's hard to really pin it. You pretty much end up landing where Edwin is. It's an ace.
This is Chris going for his original H3. Just disc is going left for him nicely. Bad kick off that tree, though, and that just hits the ground with that angle, and he's rolled outside the circle.
It's got to be a 4 for 4 on the long putts for Chris.
Here's Shane, and you never count him out at this distance. He can hit from anywhere. Oh, that's just...
Front cage, it looks like?
Just low, yep. This was a tough look. I had to go sweeping hyzer around those double trees, and yeah, I'm just basically laying up for par.
Yeah, it looked more like a layup run. Ooh. Chris just a couple inches away from being 50% on those long birdie putts to start his round, but couldn't get that one up enough. Edwin. That's a second missed putt inside the circle to start the round, and he's going to need to he's going to need to change that fast. Everyone's going to tap in now.
I got a feeling Edwin will be able to shake those. He'll be on target for soon enough.
Yeah, a guy like him doesn't stay out very long.
Shane with the smile.
There's the Shane smile. So, surprising, shortest hole on the course, and we do see the barbecue from our lead card here.
Yep, sorry guys.
This is the first time it hasn't been flashy. It's all right, guys, as we move on to our par 5, hole 5, 617 feet. Just like Casey had described, I mean, this is placement shot after placement shot. Then you get to attack the basket.
Yeah, this is a tough shot. Off the tee, you really aren't thinking about much except for just going left. As righty, I'm throwing one of my more stable Star Destroyers, and that is just yanked.
Yep.
With a little bit of the tee pad aiming, favoring the right side where you want to hit that inside left gap, but that was a tough run up. But Shane is also throwing Star Destroyer here, and he likes that. But yeah, you want to go more inside than that.
You need to be a little bit more on the inside left-hand lane. You guys will see when they approach for their second shots.
Edwin's throwing a good backhand here. This is the cleanest that we've seen so far. Yeah, it's
good. A really good landing spot.
Here's Chris throwing. Oh, yeah, he made the same mistake I did, just a little worse of a kick.
He approached the tee box the same way you did as well, almost straight on instead of off to the side.
Yep. And I'm just trying to flip up my Destroyer here, just get it out in the middle. I can get up and down from there.
Chris left with nothing but an overhand that
and he hits that tree right in front of him.
Immediately.
That is a tough lie. He, as you can see, he did not have much from there. But he's going to go for a similar shot again and hits a root or stump or something.
Now he should be able to go up and down from where he lies with a good approach.
And Shane was running up and standing in his lie for a while there. He did not like that. He wasn't sure if he wanted to run up or stand still, and he just wasn't committed enough to that shot, and he did not like that. That's a great forehand from Edwin. That's a long way uphill.
It really is. And
that's an eagle putt.
Yeah,
he's putting for eagle.
He's right where he wanted to be. Just he didn't have much angle to be further left than he ended up landing.
Chris putting a good angle on that H3.
Nice job, Chris. It puts him just at about 25 feet to save his par. Rough go on this hole so far.
So Shane's going to go for a rare forehand. He's got that flippy Star Destroyer. Yep. That'll be in position. You can get up and down. This is my Firebird. Just trying to get it up there, walk away with my 4. That should do the trick.
Now, that's a well-played hole right there. You don't get yourself into too much trouble. It's important.
I didn't get clean off the tee, but I was definitely happy to save my 4.
Ooh, that's a putt we actually, it's weird to say it, but you actually expect him to hit that.
Yeah, at least hit chains. He's always hitting metal from everywhere. Chris around the tree.
He looked a little off balance there.
So this is Edwin for Eagle.
He didn't. No way he was trying to go through the trees, I don't think, so.
Chris clean up a bogey. That was a tough hole for Chris. Yep.
There you go. Right back to his birdie ways.
Yep, 4 through 5, definitely feeling like I'm in control, and I just want to stay in that mindset.
Shane walks away, unhurt, just a par.
Edwin tap in birdie. And moving on to hole 6.
All right, Casey and Edwin picking up a birdie there while Shane managed to walk away with the par. Chris taking a little bit of a hit there with his bogey, but Casey still leading by 3 as we move into hole number 6. Hole number 6 is a lot of fun. It's a 225-foot uphill shot. Probably plays a little bit more, just like a 250 straight up.
Yeah, this is a really, really want to get to for people who have a dominant forehand, and I love this forehand shot because I can aim at those trees, let that Firebird fade out, and yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Oh yes, the flight tracker.
Flight tracker time.
This is my first flight tracker.
Ooh.
Look at that. Clean, all the way, parked.
That was a good flight tracker because it was the exact route you're supposed to take to that basket. You see how Casey went inside the trees after the first trees? That's what you have to do. A lot of people are trying to go all the way around the outside and leaving themselves long.
Oh, Edwin just throwing his overstable disc, and he just started that on a hyzer, and it didn't work left.
Casey Pro Rock?
Ooh, get skinny. Yeah, baby.
He did it. There he goes.
I was getting hyped for Shane when he hit that lane. That's a tap in too.
X1, X2, I imagine?
This is H3.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Didn't expect that.
This is the original H3, so
So
these
it
are
does-
more of like the overstable,
Right.
more like a Firebird disc, where the new H3 V2 is like that Thunderbird slot.
Right.
I believe this is A3 from Edwin. A3 or A2.
Chris missing a putt. He has not been connecting since that first hole yet. And we're going to watch Casey birdie out and Shane birdie out quite easily.
Yep, Shane's back on track.
Edwin and Chris will settle for tap and pars.
I love that New England Disc Golf Center stickers on all the baskets.
They did a really good job with this course. Start to finish, this was one of the more enjoyable rounds of disc golf I had played in a really long time. I was glad to get to check this course out this weekend.
Yeah, this is a really good course. The only thing is that it's just like in its own world, you know?
It is in its own world down in Southwick, Mass. Hole 7, a 282-foot straight par 3. You can see it from box to basket. I mean, these guys are going to be able to attack.
I'm throwing Casey rock here. I'm just trying to hit that straight gap and just let the rock glide up there, but threw it a little low. That's just lack of confidence, you know, but that's all right.
You had to throw just over this laurel that was growing in front of the basket. It actually seemed to tweak everybody's shot just a little bit.
So Shane made the mistake that I was afraid to make, but like I said, it's a tight gap. It's a late gap, too.
I agree 100% with Edwin's play here. I tried it on one of my 2 rounds as well.
Yeah, that tree gave him a backwards roll, but look at this. You see that? You see that chipmunk?
Chris is getting smoked out by a chipmunk. Let's see if it
Until he
distracted him.
peers it. That is headed straight for the basket.
Wow.
Oh, man. What a shot by Chris.
There you go, Chris. Don't let that chipmunk throw you off.
Shane from downtown. Yeah, easy.
That's a good line.
Yeah.
Puts himself right into the basket.
It's really far away.
Casey's got a couple trees in his way.
No. Ended up in that log pile.
Stance should be funny, but the distance shouldn't be an issue for you.
Ooh, Edwin giving it a good look. So I have to putt for 3 before Chris taps out his 2. Yeah, that's...
It's a good par.
Yep.
You know, the 4-stroke lead, you can afford to play a little conservatively. Chris with an absolute tapping birdie there. And then you got Edwin and Shane also settling up for par.
So this was the part of the round that Shane realized that he was continuously hole after hole being the last one to tap out, and he didn't like it. Because everybody, I don't know, I think it's because everybody's walking down the path, but you'll see that later.
He's got to fix that.
Yeah.
All right, Chris gets a stroke back on the card. Keeps him within 3 of Edmund and Shane. Casey's still holding on to a 4-stroke lead as we head into hole 8's par 5.
Monster of a hole.
Yes. I mean, there's not much other than staying safe and playing the hole as, I mean, almost as a surgeon to make sure you don't take a really silly number
Yeah,
on this.
there's multiple ways to play this hole off the tee. A backhand dominant player is definitely going to go for a maybe like a hybrid speed disc, little hyzer just like Chris did there. Just stay in the middle. But the other play is a super aggressive, understable sidearm, which I love to throw here. This is a really old SDS destroyer that I'm going to try and lean on left and let it ride. But that's going a little straight, but it's going to get past the point of the trees where it gets ugly on the hole, so I can get to the fairway there from no problem.
I like the shot you took.
This is that Undertaker shot from Shane. So this is not a very stable disc, but he's going to be able to work that on that hyzer angle and get it to pop up, and that's going to be looking great. Good distance. He's a little pinched behind that laurel, but he can make it work.
Edwin really was trying to take the route you took, but he was doing it with a more stable disc,
Yeah.
and he really tried to force the Anheuser
He
so
said
hard
after
he
that
got low.
throw, he was really concerned about the ceiling. So he said that the last thing he wanted to do was throw it high into the ceiling, and it's true because these holes like this with those tunnels, the ceiling is a large part of the tunnel. That's a tough kick. Shane's gonna try and make something work here. He's definitely pinched on this lie.
Forcing it into the woods is not a bad idea there.
He got through clean. He's just a little right.
Yeah, he took a lot of the distance that he needed to off.
So, I'm on the right side of the fairway here. I'm just trying to get my flick out there, hopefully with some sort of line to the basket, get up and down for a birdie.
Edwin is having a tough time getting through everything on this
Yeah.
hole.
There are a lot of trees on this hole, and he is finding most of them.
Chris with another forehand rolling
This-
attempt, but look at it go.
This had an incredible angle, and I told him that this could have been
Wow.
so much better without that stump. That was
The
on
stump ruined everything that was going to finish, but it still left him in a really good spot after another tough par 5 run for him.
Edwin going for another overhand here. He has a good overhand. He was definitely ripping a couple of those out there.
It's tough out here. He's used to doing it in courses where I think he gets a little bit more landing
Yeah.
zone. Here, I mean, there's still so many roots, trees, and stumps. Ooh.
I hated that tree. I told myself, I'm like, missed that on either side. And of course, I hit it dead center.
You put it into the mind space.
Shane going for a little anti-floater. And
Oh,
yeah,
he got caught up.
we had the same thing. We both knew if we missed that on just the side of it, it was going to be perfect. And we were both sitting pretty similar spot, like 35, 40 short.
Ooh. So
almost off
Chris
the tree
decides
in.
not to go with the step putt that he's been starting the round with, and he almost put that right in.
It does decline a little bit after the green. He could have had a bit of a comebacker if he ran that a little harder.
Yeah.
Shane is not happy about missing that one, even though that's like 50 feet through the woods.
Edwin with a...
Center band. He thought that was in. I thought it was in.
Yeah, it looked like it was dropping fast. It just didn't drop fast enough. Oh. I think you thought that one was in,
When
too.
that was in, I could not believe it. I thought it was floating in, just not enough height. Yeah, good cleanup for Shane.
He's not smiling.
This was my first 5 of the day. I was not happy about missing that putt.
Chris bogeys.
Tap in par.
Still smiling. Still a happy guy.
We're grinding out here.
All right, Edwin takes a stroke down there. I'm sorry, I actually said that wrong. It wasn't Chris who took a bogey there. It was Edwin. The rest of the card pars away. Casey's still holding on to a 4-stroke lead now ahead of Shane as we move into hole 9. A 400-foot par 4. It's a really interesting hole. It's got that the description Casey gave us earlier. It's a tight gap off the box, a big landing zone after you get through it, and then you just have to approach.
It is for sure a tweener where that par 3, par 4. It is a par 4 because of this tight gap. You have to force over an ante, but get so far left after the initial gap that this as a par 3, it just seems a little difficult. So I'm trying to rip on my star Thunderbird there. It's nice and overstale, but that second kick really put me out left in the woods, and Shane's definitely going to look to take advantage of that. He's throwing Sexton Firebird here. This is a nice clean shot. Good overstable disc.
The amount of turn he gets on that Firebird is unbelievable.
That's one of his older ones. He's been throwing that thing for a couple years now. In and out of the bag. Edwin going D1. This is a good shot. I know Edwin loves to throw forehands, but his backhand was definitely doing work out there that day.
That was unbelievable.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Yep, nice little roll.
I'll give you that 5 feet.
So now they are all in easy position for a birdie, and I am in the woods here, making something work.
Wow.
Oh, man.
You knew that was coming.
I thought it was going to go in, and then I realized how long it went.
That was unbelievable.
Shane wasn't too pleased to see that one go through.
No, the truth is the other guys on the card had to have been thinking there was a chance they could get 2 there.
Now Shane giving a safe eagle bid. I was actually shocked. I thought he was going to be going for that one.
Looked like Edwin did for sure, and everyone's going to be safe right where they land there.
Yeah, they're all going to be tapping in for bird. I got this left. Yeah,
KC.
baby. Let's go.
That's a good birdie.
That felt really good. Knowing I was out of position off the tee, not easy putt coming in, and they were all parked. That one definitely was a confidence booster.
I think these guys thought there was even a remote chance out there for him to pull 2 strokes off of you maybe, and instead ended up with
push.
Ended up with a push all the way around. A card of birdies.
Yep, star frame.
That's a nice.
He's not happy about tapping out last. He's really worked up about that.
This is gonna finish up our front 9 with everybody taking a birdie and Casey staying 4 strokes ahead of the pack.
Yeah.
Oof. And that brings us into hole 10, a 500-foot par 4, straight as an arrow, and also really narrow.
This is a great hole. This is one that if you really want to, you can just rip one and see how far you can get, or you can try and hit the gap with a mid or a fairway. There's a lot of options here.
I saw both, and it was a lot of fun. I myself, during my second round, was able to just throw as hard as I could, and it was a lot of fun.
Chris got a little bit of a kick to the right side there. I am throwing my Kona Star Destroyer. I'm just trying to rip this thing up the fairway, honestly looking for a 2. But yeah, I mean, this hole's hard.
It really was one of the harder too.
I tried to disc down the first round, didn't work out, so I just tell myself, if you're gonna make it through the trees, just send it. And this is exactly what Shane is doing. He is ripped to the Star Destroyer, and that is
and the kick.
That's a good
and
shot.
The kick was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, he's gonna be about 100, 150 from the basket, and
another overhand here. This is a weird place to play that because
that ceiling
is a tight ceiling there.
Okay, so he's got a D2 in his hand, so you can see still got a lot of work to do. A lot of distance to make up. Yeah. At least it stayed in the middle. Oh, well.
Tried not to.
Yeah. Okay, so I have an anti-flex forehand here, and this is my pink Star Destroyer that I can throw these anti-forehands that flex out, and this is a little wide.
Ooh, and another tough kick.
When I stood on my lie, I thought I could get a 3, and I just missed my line by a foot, and I was not happy to see that one kick.
Ooh, Chris yanks one right. Can't really see where he landed. It could be tough, though.
Yep. There's Edwin throwing a forehand approach. Circles edge short. Looks like Chris has an Annie backhand here.
Ooh, float. Oh, man. Anything but a kick away from the basket there.
Okay, so I have an Annie forehand. There is a tree in the middle to miss, and I hit it dead center and got probably the worst kick I could have got.
That seems to be the going rate for this hole right now. Shane with the best look at this.
This is his second shot.
And look at that.
And that...
I think he wanted to get that really close.
That is very disappointing for him to see. Especially seeing me in trouble, knowing if he can lay up a birdie.
Ooh, and he leaves it short.
So I'm in this weird corner that's kind of a dead zone. I have to go forehand Annie over this pine tree, and that is what I have left for bogey.
Yeah.
And that is just, I am in nightmare situation. Like, get me off this hole, please.
Edwin. Oh, he's been a little high all day, but that one looked like it should have gone in.
Edwin's putting with those 300 PA3s. I thought that those would be a little grippier, and some of these putts that he's getting are not really...
Ooh, Chris high.
Chains.
It's like both guys, they were trying to force in their putts, and they just forced them.
This is a steep Annie putt that I have to lay down, and I know I've got to make this.
There it is.
Best putt of the day. That was huge. Absolutely feeling it.
Couple bogeys. I believe this is, another bogey on the card. Shane's gonna take the sole par on a hole that I think he was really trying to push for eagle. But he gets a stroke. He gets a stroke back on Casey. He gets a stroke around on the card. Brings him within 3 of Casey. Separating himself a little bit from Edwin, but still, Edwin's biting him. 2 strokes behind, but still 8 holes to go. Hole 11 is a 250-foot par 3. This one plays a little bit on the more forgiving side. It's very attackable. It's very deuceable. You do still, as with every hole on this course, pretty much need to hit a lane. But
this is a hole that if I could bet $100 that Shane was going to park this with his AVR3, I would. And that's not his old trusty one. That's a new one in the bag. And if he would have thrown his flippier one, I think it would have been a really good shot. Chris is also throwing a putter. I believe this is PA3. He's flipping it up a little more, but still drifting left, and that's just.
You need to get a little bit more on it, but you can see these guys were basically tapping him up with putters. Casey with a forehand.
Yeah, I'm just going for a little bit of a snap zone. Gets a little bit of a favorable kick, but that is still about 20 feet behind a couple trees. Edwin going overhand. This is a good play. It's a straight hole, and I can see it filtering to the basket very well.
It's wide and it's forgiving as well. Oh, wow.
Good long look.
Shane rather ends up leaving that just a couple of feet off the basket, but he put a real run on that from the woods.
That'll be an easy 3.
Chris has a look at it with the tree guard in the basket just on the right-hand side of him.
Floating one up.
Ooh.
This is for a stroke on the card.
There you go, Casey.
I'm putting with stiff P-line P2s, and it's a white-on-white stamp. I think they're just the coolest things ever. I got them from Bob Kulchuk.
Nice.
Yeah, I switched to those coming into the New England swing with like Maple Hill and Green Mountain and stuff, and they were really good for that last stretch of the summer.
Is that what he putts with too?
Bob, yeah. he puts with P2s, but
right,
I think
P2s.
he stayed with the X line for a while.
All right, Casey taking a stroke on the card and a 4-stroke advantage back on Shane. He's got 6 on third and he's got at least 8 on fourth, but we don't even know if someone's chasing up on Chris at this point. That brings us into hole 12. It's a par 3. It's 330 feet. Probably plays a little bit less than that because it's sloping downhill, but you need to put on a right hand hyzer shot, fight it out wide and let it drop down to the basket.
I-
If you cut it too early, it's a little dangerous.
I like the mid-range here. This is my Glow MD4. I threw this, I think, as perfect as I could have.
That's exactly how you're supposed to play the hole. You play the inside route well.
With good height.
A lot of guys, if you're not going to take a mid like you did, I see a lot of guys hanging it out wider.
This is Shane's trusty Sexton Firebird. He's going to give it a little bit of a
Absolutely.
run. And a little long, but that's definitely close for bird. This is Chris throwing M1. A little wide, but that could hurry. Just hits that corner tree.
It's an interesting approach from where he is. There's a lot of trees in the way. I know for a fact.
Edwin going H2V2.
Looks like he made it through just about everything and
Yep.
probably trickled a little bit down.
I think he's going to be about circle's edge, looking downhill. Good up and over from Chris. He nicks the last tree, but he's definitely got putt. Edwin,
Boom.
all day. He knew that one the whole way.
Getting to play that one back.
He's had a couple unlucky bounces off the baskets, and he needed that one bad. That was a good putt.
Coming into these final stretch of holes, he needed to just start birdieing, and that was a good time to do it. Chris is able to save his par.
Yep, good par save putt.
Now we'll get to see Shane and KC attempt their birdie putts. No problem
Looks
for
like his line was a little
Shane.
tougher than I thought back there. He had like that branch on his head. Yeah, he's scratching his head there. He needed that one. He knew it. All right.
Excellent birdie putt.
Definitely glad to make that one after Chris and Edwin both
Yeah.
hit theirs from downtown.
There's a little cameo from our catch cam. We got 3 birdies on the card. Chris taking the sole par. Casey continuing to keep his 4-stroke advantage over Shane as we move into our final stretch of 6 holes. Starting with hole 13, an almost 500-foot par 4. This one's not a lot of fun because it looks very, 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 very gettable for 3, and then you find out the 2 shots you have to take. The first shot off the box is a low-lying laser beam that needs, I mean, their ceiling is so much lower than the video can even show.
It is definitely calling for a strong forehand, and just, you'd think there's so many trees in the way, but watch this.
Wow, and Casey misses it all and ends up, well, it's actually a really good shot.
Look at Drew. Look at Drew's face. They were screaming for that one. That one went all the way down the hill. I have a long uphill look for eagle.
You can see Shane doing some course maintenance. The ceiling is as low as, thankfully, he showed it. He really showed how crazy it is. Casey's drive will show you how low he kept it. He had to. The ceiling.
There was a little bit of a headwind here. I did feel that because usually that pink destroyer won't flip up that much, and it clearly showed because I did not switch the disc.
Edwin's actually in a good landing spot.
Yeah, he can
Believe it
definitely
or not,
get down.
behind those stacked logs wasn't too bad.
Chris, I'm surprised to see him go backhand here.
Me too. It's not a very good backhand
You
shot.
need that low ceiling moving right shot, and that's just like it's really tough to do with a backhand. I understand with Shane because he's just like he's so strong backhand, but Chris does have that strong forehand as we were about to watch. Yeah.
As you could see when I was saying, it's a very gettable 3. Even from Chris's tough drive,
Yep.
that's where he managed
Yep.
to put his approach.
He's gonna like that. So this is Edwin going A1.
He hung it out a little too far left.
Sam with the moves.
He almost took out Sam.
Shane's in a tough spot. He's got to go AVR3 flick and hopefully just float it down, but that tree did not want that to happen. This is a really dangerous putt here. Okay, he's laying it up.
It was a smart move.
Yes, definitely. That
As much as he needs strokes on you, he can't give you a
so
couple.
this is where my drive ended up.
Oh,
man.
Casey.
Oh, and it hangs on. That's a tough.
You might be the only guy who had a putter wobble in that spot
And
on
say-
both rounds and stay. I saw flat putts land and roll 50 feet on this hole.
The terrain is tough out here.
Great
that's
putt
for
by
sure.
Chris. That
That's
must
a
have
good
felt
3.
that must have felt like 50 feet.
Yeah, look at all these steps he's taken.
We just got word that scramble Sam Gaddes had to make getting away from Edwin's approach has sidelined him for another 9 months with a back injury.
Oh, Sam.
if Sam is on your fantasy production team, you might want to look at the waivers moving into the last couple productions of the season. Casey taking another birdie and increasing his lead over Shane now by 5 strokes. Edwin and Chris are still hanging on to a battle, a couple strokes off each other. Hole 14 is... it's indescribable. If you haven't played down here, please get down to Southwick, Mass, and remember this video as you get into hole 14. It's 283 feet, but I mean, Casey will vouch right now that it plays what, 350?
Yeah, I'm throwing my Night Strike 2 here, and I'm throwing it pretty hard uphill. It is drifting a little left, but
it's a great spot.
Yes,
though. That's where most people were trying to land. It's the safest spot. You can't get in trouble on this hole.
I believe Chris is throwing F2 here, and this is a nice straight shot. It's a little nose up, but he is going to be pretty similar to where mine just landed.
And that's, again, I saw everyone pretty much trying to hit that exact shot into that same spot if they couldn't just pin it.
Shane is going Star Destroyer. I think he just wants this to go laser straight, but he just didn't spin it enough.
Getting a little bit of a... Oof,
Yeah,
it's all right.
Tough roll.
I like the forehand play here, but it's tricky because of that right there.
Oh... Yeah, that's...
So I had the opportunity to be unfortunately backed up on this hole. I saw maybe 16 to 20 drives go out on this hole throughout the whole day, and almost every forehand had that same issue. It looks like a different shot. You try to shape a different shot, and you're halfway up before you realize you're going to fade out way too soon.
Shane nicking the cage from long. Edwin's got to get through the trees here. Yeah, he's got it.
You got it.
Easy par. All right, so I'm about 25 feet here. Yeah.
That one felt good. You're
Yep.
firing on all cylinders now.
Mm-hmm. No stopping now. I wanted to go all the way. Oh.
Come on. Chris's putting eludes him, and then he gets ribbed by an extra 7-8 feet there.
That's tough, right?
There he goes.
He wanted that 2-putt bad. He needed it.
And he hit a nice drive.
Mm-hmm.
He really afforded himself the opportunity there. Good cleanup by Shane rather, and a good cleanup by Edwin as well. Casey, just really starting to pull away, obviously. 6 strokes coming into the final 4 holes.
Feeling good.
They are interesting holes, but you must be feeling really good now. We are coming into hole 15. It's an interesting short par 3.
2-shot.
It's
2 different shots.
It's kind of like hole 4 where you're going to see, maybe on this card we'll even see, you can approach it very, very differently.
The visual, please, is the Annie backhand, but personally, it's this shot all day long. The Annie Firebird. That's
Parked.
Yep. That's another one of the Vegas Firebirds, and that one's just money.
I agree 100% with the route you took. I mean, I think that's...
If you have the shot,
Yep.
It's definitely the best. Joey Antosca, actually. Shout out to Joey Antosca for acing this with his
Yep.
Star Firebird in the second round. That was a 6 shot, and congrats, buddy.
Now here's a look at the other way.
Shane just missing that tree on the inside. That's close to about as good as a backhand can get.
And it's exactly how it should look. He's been getting a little over on those forehands, and that was a tough spot to do it on because if you hit one of those trees early by getting over on it.
I do believe this was Edwin's first time, if not one of his first times on camera, so he definitely said he was feeling a little bit nervous.
Which is incredibly understandable.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But look at that.
Woo. Good up.
It's a good attack back to the basket after having some trouble in the earlier part of that hole. Chris just missing a little left there. Ooh, no.
That's the only, you'll only see that miss on a Prodigy basket. You won't see those miss on anything else. Maybe that Mach X spit out, but on a basket that doesn't have those cross-link chains, that'll catch all day.
It pushed him right out when it really
I
shouldn't
had
have.
actually a similar one, so you're going to see here as I tap out. I had first round, I had a flick putt that hit right there, and I thought it was in for sure, and it spit out. And that it just proves that these things only want what is in the center of the chains. They don't want left or right, and it's just it's tough to change your putt, I feel like, to accommodate to a basket.
You're basically pushing yourself to play the basket instead of playing your actual shot. Casey taking another birdie there as we move into hole 16. It's a really interesting par 3.
This is a great hole.
Yeah,
actually.
you basically have to attack your drive, and then you just see what can happen afterwards.
This could be an Annie backhand putter mid. I personally like to just rip on a forehand zone. This is a zone I got from Marvin Manilow. That is money. Oh, it just hits a tree. But that's okay. I know I won't have to work for that. I can lay it for my 3, get off the hole with no damage. At this point, I'm looking for the long run.
Looks like a turnover putter shot here from Chris.
That's a great line. Good skip.
Wow, and it
Parked.
absolutely
parked.
Perfect, Chris.
Good shot. This is the trusty Star AVR3 from Shane.
Maybe not as much turn as he wanted, but it's still going to look out.
Yeah, see, that's the trickiness of this hole, though, is that distance. It's with that amount of downhill. You can't overdrive this hole. You need to be touchy, so when you don't want to spin it too much, you tend to let it leak left, and that's what Edwin's doing as well. So that's why I like the forehand, because I see that it dies short of the basket. I'll never be in that danger long left.
Which I think is important here.
Mm-hmm. Edwin wants this. Maybe.
He's also looking down a
Yeah.
mountain. I mean, I know what you're doing here. I imagine.
I want to run this so bad, but that's as much speed as I could have put on it. Let myself. Put
I'm
on
actually surprised even with the shot you took.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna get down on a knee and scoot it towards the pole.
Shane hitting a banger, so he obviously sees the door open. I missed my 2-putt. Shane's feeling good. He likes that.
You know, and Shane's still playing for second place money
Yeah.
here, and he wants to make sure that he doesn't make any sort of folly that jeopardizes that. So
Yeah,
he knows
but
the
you
best way to
know-
do that. Hit a birdie.
You know Shane, the guy he is. He's an entertainer. He still knows the cameras on him. He
Absolutely.
wants something for the fans.
Hit those birdies.
So Chris and Shane leaving with the only 2 birds on the card. Edwin and I faced with that long death putt, so we had to settle for 3s, but that's all right. Hole 17. We're gonna be looking at this par 3. It's a 311 feet. There's a lot of things to do here. This hole tends to get really windy, actually, so you could see people disking up. Overstable mid is the good play, and Chris is throwing PA1 here.
I'm going to argue that the best play was a tomahawk up over everything. I saw Frankie Sullivan park it.
Okay. That is, yeah.
There's a hole. There's a hole up through the ceiling. I
Hey,
wonder.
good for
does
Frankie
Edwin take
Sullivan.
it? I really like to see if Edwin
We're gonna
Sullivan-
find out.
Edwin Bedell here takes it. Yeah, Frankie Sullivan threw up over the top right after I did, but he actually managed to pin it.
Nice, me. I'm throwing Glow MD4. I'm just ripping on this, trying to hit the gap. I really don't care where this goes as long as it's through, and that's a little long. That's probably like circle 2, but that's easy 3, and that's safe in my mind. Oh, he is going for it.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, okay, he's going to be over there in the
It's
long
about
run.
45, 50 feet left, but I mean, it was really windy too when he was taking that shot, it looks like.
So something wild happened on my card the first round on this hole. John Bonsanto threw his star T-bird on this hole and landed about 30 feet left of the basket in the grass, and we lost the disc. There was a card on 18's tee that told us where it was, and we couldn't find it. It was unbelievable. Shane giving it a long look. This is all I had. This is a flick putt. Shane was calling for turbo.
I would have liked to see a turbo, but it's great. You hit chains, basket.
You
You're
see my
celebrating,
arms
I
going
think.
up
I'm not sure
there.
you know that didn't go
No,
in.
I was like, how did that not go in? I thought for sure I had it. And that would have just been like so cool. Man. But Shane and Collette were yelling at me going, turbo, turbo. But
You have it in you.
I wanted to flick putt.
That is a card full of barbecuing for everybody as we go 3-3, 3-3 into the final hole. Casey walking into that final hole with a 6-stroke lead. Edward and Chris are going to have a little battle here, though. They are both -10. See if they can maybe split themselves off of each other. This is a crazy way to end 700-foot par 5. It plays down a long tunnel, and then it takes a hard, almost 90-degree angle to the left-hand side. You can't be left, you can't be right, you can't be short. You don't really want to be in the middle.
This is certainly one of the most epic finishing holes in New England. It has one of my votes for sure. Chris is lacing this H3 on a flip up. This is, if you can draw it up at the back end, that is it right there.
I mean,
beautiful.
this is another one of those holes, guys, where I tell you, please go out to the New England Disc Golf Center in Southwick, Massachusetts, play these holes. Playing this hole will make you feel like you have played an elite disc golf course because there's no forgiveness here.
I'm popping my Star Destroyer here. I found that this is the good play to just kind of throw it into the hill, let it play off. Unfortunately, caught that stump, and it rolled me into one of the worst spots to be on the hole.
I actually found myself there during the first round, and it took me a solid minute to decide really just my fate.
Edwin had a high release there, and he, as we were walking up to our lies, I said, "Oh man, my shot wants to make me cut the corner," and he said, "I am," and I was like, "Wow," because like if you see what's through there, that's a tough shot. But he said he did it the first round, so we'll see how it plays out for him. I'm just trying to get something up in the middle.
That's actually fine,
Yeah.
right where you are.
That's my flippiest destroyer. I was just trying to put it in play, get my par.
Just to give you guys an idea, there's not only can they not see the basket from where they are right now, it's unreachable and it's unplayable.
It's just get as close to the fairway as possible without.
Chris
hitting
just
the tree.
did everything he'd want to do, but he left himself a really interesting spot because you can play a left-hand shot down a road or a right-hand shot up by the basket, and he's left himself dead center.
That was a great rock flick from Shane. That is not a shot that he is 100% confident in, and he hit that angle beautifully.
Edwin is in the woods.
Cut in the corner. Going for it.
This is going to work out.
Yeah. He's got a downhill look at the basket. He's not going to be complaining about that. This is my...
Did you have any shot down the left-hand side on that?
I
Did you think
didn't.
about
I
it
was a
with
little
Firebird?
far.
Yeah.
So I actually had that option in the first round, but
I had it in the first, but not in the second. It
that
was
second round
interesting.
I would have had to push it on a hard hyzer. But that Annie flick with a putter or mid like zone or harp, that is my bread and butter. That's the shot I want to throw on every approach ever.
Shane with the big run here to finish, but he gets it to settle
It
down.
slides down the hill a little bit, but he's all right. He's hanging on. This is me laying up.
It's a good layup for you right here because
Yeah.
the mulch is going to catch you.
Close out that win.
Edwin. Wow, what a great way to finish,
Huge
man.
putt.
What a great way to finish.
That is absolute death putt. Like, I think missing the basket there, minimum of 30 feet coming back.
Shout out to Edwin for his first round here being filmed in New England Disc Golf Productions, and he definitely just finished strong. We look forward to seeing you next time. A huge shout out to Chris Collette. He absolutely slaughtered that hole.
Yeah, he did. Shane, great tournament. Great year for Shane. Shane is the NEFA points champion. We should mention that. He absolutely wrecked that this year.
Here's your champion, guys. Your New England champion for 2019, tapping in an absolute stellar performance down here at New England Disc Golf Center. I mean, unbelievable.
And so at that moment there, Shane yelled at me, "Go back to touring." And I thought that was pretty funny because Shane likes to clean up his New England tournaments.
We can see the trophy there next to Casey's name. An absolute washout here with the 20 under performance. He went 10 under, 10 under, holding up his scorecard there. Very happy young man. I have a feeling we'll probably see at least one more New England disc golf final out of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Kyle Moriarty snuck into second place with Joey Antosca. Two guys on the chase card with Rivas and coming up as well. Knocking Shane Wyatt down with that tie for fourth place with Rivas. It was an unbelievable video here today from New England Disc Golf Productions. We are associated with ActonTV Sports. We want to thank our sponsor again, Rapscallion Brewery, Taproom, and Disc Golf Center. Again, I'm Adam Abruzzi. We have Casey White here with us.
It was a great time commentating. This is a great tournament. This was an awesome day, and I can't wait to be back here.
Big shout out to tournament director Bob Kulchuk for doing an unbelievable job putting this event on for us as usual.
And Drew Gardner for putting that course together.
Oh, yeah.
Everything looked impeccable. I loved it, and I think everybody there knew how much work he puts into that.
It was unbelievable. You know, I'm already planning several times to go back and try out the course again. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching with us.